So, what's recyclable at OSU? We'll start with what goes in bottles and cans, but first let's talk about what makes anything recyclable in the first place. One is markets. Recycling is about collecting materials that someone wants to buy to make into new things. So if no one wants that material, it is not recyclable. An example is paper cups, which are a mix of paper and plastic that are difficult to separate, so there's no market for them. Secondly, can the sorting facility, shown here, process it? For example, plastic bags are not accepted because they get caught up in this machinery. Another thing that makes something recyclable is if it is clean enough. All recyclables should be empty, clean, and dry. Emptying meaning you've poured out all of the contents. Clean meaning most things need a quick rinse. And dry meaning there's no standing liquid left inside. This is important, one, so we don't spill things like food onto paper and make it unrecyclable. And two, so we can keep a clean and pest-free work environment for those folks who sort out our recycling later. So let's talk about what is accepted in the bins, labeled bottles and cans. First, there's two items made of metal. Steel or tin cans, which is often a can of beans or coconut milk, and then aluminum cans, which are beverages. If it's made of metal and it's one of these two cans, it's accepted in the bin. And they should be empty, clean, and dry, as we mentioned. The next category is plastics, and again there's two items that are accepted. The first is plastic bottles. These are rigid containers with narrow necks and small openings. They're often drinks, but it could also be something like a ketchup bottle or shampoo bottle. The second item is plastic jugs, which are basically a bottle with a handle. These are most often milk or laundry soap. When it comes to plastics, just remember to check the neck. It should be smaller than the base of the container. Also, it's best to remove and throw away the caps, and we'd want it empty, clean, and dry. Lastly is glass, and again, there's two items that are accepted. The first is bottles, which are just like the shape of those plastic bottles and are usually beverages. And the other is glass jars. These are containers where the base is going to be about the same size as the opening, and these often contain some kind of sauce. Any color of glass is accepted. Now, because the lids are never also made of glass, and recycling is about separating materials into different types, we do ask that you remove and throw away the lids. And again, we'd want them empty, clean, and dry. We'll talk about what's accepted in the other bins and the other modules, but just a reminder that the only items accepted in bottles and cans bins are the two types of plastic, metal, and glass that we just covered. If it's not on this list, it is not accepted in the bin.